He can do things with his throat. That's correct. Alright. My least favorite level. Let's fucking do it. Don't jump in the water? Yeah, thank you. I won't do that again. I play this part safe from now on. That really... Yeah, I was mad too, believe me. I was fucking pissed. Because that's never happened before, and I had been doing that from day one, the way I did it. I was really upset with that. He keeps pulling heartstrings. There's only one type of scream that I never really understood how people did, the types they use, and... I hate black metal, so... Yeah, I don't really care to learn that style. But... The highest pitch shrieks I've ever heard in music would have to be Full of Hell on their album Weeping Choir. They're like a grind band, but that man can do some fucking shrieks. Devin Townsend. I don't know who that is. What do you think the odds are for you becoming a millionaire? 0%. Something I think about when I see my student loan bills. Yeah. I don't see myself selling out enough to work a job where I would earn $1 million. And I wasn't born rich, so. Plus, I've got my communist bona fides to think about. Yeah, I actually don't know how to read music, so that doesn't tell me much, unfortunately. Sorry. I know that's probably embarrassing to say, being a musician, but I can't read sheet music. I took music theory in high school and I dropped out after 3 weeks because it was too hard. But yeah, spam, I wouldn't even want $1 million. I have no idea what I would spend it on. I would buy myself a house, I would pay off my mom's house, and keep working the same way I am. I don't need $1 million to do those things. I would spend the rest to erect a golden statue of Fidel Castro in my front yard. How about that? Fidel Castro, that'd be fun. Oh yeah, my American neighbors would love that. Most of them today would be like, who's that weird guy? Probably true. Fidel and Batista were bad for Cuba, both authoritarians. Strong disagree. Look at Cuba before and after the revolution and tell me that Fidel was bad for Cuba. Was he perfect? Of course not. Are there things to criticize? Absolutely. But the Cuban Revolution was absolutely beneficial for Cuba. I noticed that Anti-Castro Cubans will criticize Fidel and not Batista because they were okay with... Oh, yeah, well, that's because most anti-Castro Cubans are rich white people living in Miami that had a bunch of wealth and property under Batista. That little island of 11 million people has arguably the best system of healthcare in the entire world, and undeniably the best healthcare in the third world. Just to use one metric. And the tremendous degree to which race relations improved after the Cuban Revolution is also undeniable. Plus the internationalism to Africa. You know, there's a reason that Malcolm X and Nelson Mandela praised Castro. Now, to your point, Spam, that's not to say that he didn't centralize a tremendous amount of power around himself. And that's definitely something, you know, that I certainly wish didn't have to be the case. But look at the Bay of Pigs, look at the embargo. Unfortunately, to survive stuff like that, you need a strong centralized government. Otherwise, without it, they would have been couped or otherwise invaded before, you know, before 1961. Those things were bad too. What things? Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a video you should watch on YouTube. It's by the Michael Brooks Show. It's titled Anti-Imperialism and the Cuban Revolution for Normal People. I highly recommend you watch that video. You know, I try not to idealize any one figure or country or event or anything like that, but, you know, Fidel Castro was undeniably one of the most effective and brilliant leaders of the 20th century. And that's not to say, again, that any criticisms of Cuba are invalid, because there are plenty to be had. But if you also look at modern Cuba, many of those criticisms have been improved upon or corrected since the beginning of the revolution. such as LGBTQ rights. You know, Raul's daughter now runs the government ministry for LGBTQ rights in Cuba. And you can get, you know, hormone therapy and surgeries, you know, via their healthcare system for free. So whereas their record in the past was atrocious and should be rightly criticized, it wasn't any better or worse than our own record here in the United States and other Western countries. And in modern times, it has been drastically improved upon. Much more so than here, for example. Nice. Payne, you know that what is written on paper is not what happens in practice, and I don't even like. I mean, they have observers in Cuba, third-party observers, that verify stuff like this. So, you know, is it embellished? You know, probably. I'm sure every government embellishes their successes and their praises, but to discount it entirely is also foolish. Who are these third parties? The United Nations, international watch groups, election verifiers. Cuba is a member of the United States Human Rights Committee. So, you know, not to say they're, again, not to say that any criticism is invalid or whatever, but, you know, the stuff we hear about Cuba here in the United States is also total bullshit, frankly.